So let's talk about FBI Director Christopher Wray's Senate testimony about the law enforcement failures on January 6th. Because getting to the bottom of why the Donald Trump-inspired insurrection darn near succeeded, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So FBI Director Christopher Wray testified to the Senate about the security failures on January 6th. Can we start with the lighthearted, the comical, meaning the questions from the Republican senators, and then we'll move to the serious? Because there were definitely some laughs to be had when you listen to guys like Senator Chuck Grassley, who is still trying to put the January 6th attack on the Capitol on Antifa, asking the FBI director, well, there were really fake Trump supporters who were responsible for the violence on January 6th. Christopher Wray, to his credit, said, no, we have no evidence that Antifa was involved. We have no evidence of fake Trump supporters. Translation: the domestic terrorists that attacked the Capitol on January 6th were actual Trump supporters, true Trump supporters. That kind of shut Grassley up. You've got Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, who is still complaining that the FBI didn't do enough to protect me, to protect us against the violence that, well, yeah, I kind of inspired. Okay, no further questions. You have Mike Lee. Mike Lee, who's asking Director Wray about FISA warrants, which had nothing to do with January 6th, right? He's still obsessing over the Mueller investigation. I have to admit, I didn't see all of Mike Lee's questions, so I don't know if he also asked Director Wray about the Steele dossier and Hillary Clinton's emails and Hunter Biden's laptop. And then I think my favorite was Josh Hawley of the Insurrectionist Caucus, who seemed obsessed with questions about cell phone numbers, cell phone information, right? Cell site information, geolocator information. He was obsessing over what kind of evidence the FBI has of the cell phones used by the insurrectionists. I was kind of waiting for Hawley to say, Director Wray, can I run a number by you and see if you have any incriminating information about this cell phone number? Bizarre line of questioning. Felt like maybe he had a guilty conscience, but not exactly sure what was motivating Josh Hawley's questions. The Republicans seemed interested in everything but the Trump-inspired insurrection. Let's move to the serious, because this was a law enforcement failure. There's no denying it. If it wasn't a law enforcement failure, the Capitol would not have been breached, and the people inside the Capitol would not have been put in harm's way. But they were. Now, FBI Director Wray said that, we kind of had insufficient evidence supporting the conclusion that there would be a violent attack on the Capitol on January 6th. Really? Donald Trump had been whipping up his base, his supporters, since before the election, telling them, if we lose, it will be rigged. It will be stolen from you, from me, from us. And then once he lost, he reinforced that theme. They stole your vote. They stole your election. They stole your president. Come to D.C. on January 6th. It will be wild. It will be wild. We will stop the steal. We'll take back what's ours. Insufficient evidence that there was a threat to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th? The business owners knew it, right? The shop owners in D.C. knew it. They all boarded their stores up, their businesses up. They knew violence was coming on January 6th. The residents knew it. They took precautions. They stayed inside. They hunkered down. Heck, even I knew it. And I'm no smarter than your average bear. I was putting out videos before January 6th saying, you know what? Looks like there's going to be violence. And I was actually urging all of the boy groups, the Boogaloo Boys and the Proud Boys and the Wolverine Boys, leave your guns at home because one, we don't want violence in D.C. and two, we have really tough gun laws in D.C. And if you bring your guns into D.C., MPD, the Metropolitan Police Department, will get you. And my friends at MPD did get several of the Boogaloo Boys or the Proud Boys or whichever boy bands these people belong to, got them with their guns, locked them up. We all knew there would be violence. Heck, the writing was on the wall being Donald Trump's tweets. Everybody knew there would be violence. And the law enforcement forces that were left to protect the Capitol that day were woefully inadequate. So there are some really hard questions that still need to be addressed. Like, who is it that prohibited the National Guard from being deployed in advance of the attack on the Capitol on January 6th? Who put a stop to, who prohibited the National Guard from being in place to protect the Capitol and everybody in that building? And why weren't there more executive branch law enforcement agencies? Because there are a lot of executive branch law enforcement agencies. Take it from a career federal prosecutor in D.C. Why weren't any of them deployed or allowed to protect the Capitol that day? They're all under the control of Donald Trump, ultimately. Kind of smells like somebody was being set up at the Capitol. That's the way it smells. But we need to ask a lot of hard questions and get a lot of direct, truthful answers. And I understand there's another hearing coming up. And I'm hoping and I believe they're going to dig into the military and the National Guard piece of this. Who is it that prohibited adequate law enforcement resources from being deployed to protect the Capitol on January 6th? Those questions matter. The safety of our legislators matter. The peaceful transition of power matters. And justice matters. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.